How about that? The Rays go into Fenway. 4-game series. Divisional opponent. Take 3 out of 4. And the Rays do jump over the Red Sox in the American League East standings. Very dramatic series. A ton of close games. All of them were pretty close. We're talking 5-3, 5-4, 4-3. Tonight was 7-5. All right, so let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into game 1 because it's a 4-game series. It's an extra game to go over, so let's do this. Pitching matchup, Zach Eflin versus Cutter Crawford. With how the game started off, you looked like this might be a high-scoring game because Eflin came out pretty rough, giving up a home run, a 3-run home run in that first inning, and then Crawford as well. The Rays coming out hot. Rosario with a triple, Palacios with a single to bring home Rosario. So after the first inning was 3-3, like I said, it seemed like it could have got a lot worse, but the pitchers did settle in and cruised from there, honestly. Looking at the line here for Zach Eflin, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, like I said. That's all in the first inning, 91 pitch count. Only 2 strikeouts, but no walks per, Zach Eflin. That's what he does. He doesn't walk people. It's not bad. It's not bad. I know Zach wouldn't want to give up those 3 in the first. We've seen better performances from Zach, but you look past that first inning, it's good stuff. Going over to Crawford, 6 innings pitched, so goes 1 more than Zach, but he does give up 1 more earned run. On top of that, 1 walk. He does have 6 strikeouts, 101 pitch count, so he does go over the 100 mark. But that other run that he did give up was a Jose Siri sac fly, scoring Caballero in the 4th inning there. A big thing to note, a huge thing to note, coming out of this series, we've seen some improvements as we've gone along the bullpen. It's a huge deal. And we're seeing the results of that. Start of the year, guys were just not in the strike zone. They were walking guys. And we're seeing things come together a bit now. And guys like Clevenger, just ridiculous stuff that he's doing on the mound right now. Jason Adam, same thing. Jason Adam obviously is a high leverage guy, someone that we put some trust in, have some expectations for. But Clevenger, the surprise there. So the bullpen in this game, it does go Kevin Kelly pitches 2 innings, both clean. Clevenger with a clean inning, and then Jason Adam with the save, clean inning. Looking at what the guys were able to do in this one, Yandy Diaz continuing to, bring up that average as the season moves forward and forward, up to 261 now. So we're getting more and more into that Yandy Diaz territory. Not quite there yet, but like I said, continuing to get hotter and hotter. 3 for 5 in this one. Ahmed Rosario with a good game, 2 for 4. Caballero with a good game, 2 for 4. Alex Jackson, man. I just don't see the real purpose. Like, I get it. He bats opposite of Hortvet. He's a righty, Hortvet's a lefty. I get it, but he's not doing anything. See here. What are we doing with that? It seems like he's not ready for this yet. He doesn't look comfortable at the plate. He's swinging at just ridiculous stuff in the dirt and then turning around and telling the umpire that it hit my bat when I wish I had the replay. It was like a foot away from hitting your bat, bro. Like, yikes. The Rays were able to get an insurance run in that 8th inning. Rosario with a double. And like I said, he had a good game there. So putting the lead up 2-2, and they're able to hold it. Like I said, Jason Adam gets the save. Rays win 5-3 and take that first game of the series. Then game 2. Now that we've watched, the entire series, you look back at game 2 and you're just like, man, this should have been a sweep. Should have been a sweep. Extremely frustrating game. Goes to extra innings. The win pretty much falls in the Rays' lap, and just a mental error screws it up. So this one was Savali versus Pavetta. Savali, has struggled big time lately. Getting him in that trade for Kyle Manzardo, who has been called up this year for the Guardians. Now Savali coming here, he was, let's just be honest, supposed to be better than this. I'm not saying he won't turn things around, but we're starting to get a pretty good sample size together now. And yeah, we're more of a quarter way into the season, and he's at a 5.83 ERA. Things are not looking good. I'll share my screen here to talk about Savali for a second. So we're going to look at these recent games, and let's go deeper than that because it goes back a bit now. These are fourth, probably fifth guy in your rotation statistics. He's barely, this is, like I said, this is a good sample size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. He goes 4 2/3, 4 2/3, 4 1/3, 4 2/3. He does get 5 innings put together in this one, but you're 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs. You end up getting pulled 4 2/3 innings. See a lack of trust right there, if you're asking me. 7 earned runs, 6 earned runs, 5 earned runs. It's frustrating because he's a huge piece. He's a huge piece of this rotation, and once we start getting guys healthy, it'll be interesting to see where he falls in that rotation. Taj Bradley is already back, obviously. Eflin has continued to stay healthy, thankfully. Littell looking good, but guys are going to start coming in. Springs, Rasmussen. Where does he fall into this order? Is he going to continue to just do 4 1/3 or 4 2/3? Maybe, since Tyler Alexander will eventually fall out of the rotation, most likely, maybe they do a sort of like a duo thing there. Be interesting to see how that could work. But yeah, frustrating as you can tell. But the bullpen, thankfully, as I stated prior, Sean Armstrong, clean inning. Maton, clean inning. Clevenger, clean inning. Fairbanks, clean inning. Jason Adam, clean inning. You're just throwing them out, and it's just light. On the Boston side, Pivetta, his final line, 5 2/3, just 2 earned runs, 8 Ks, no walks, 81 pitch count. It's a pretty good day. It's a pretty dang good day. Scoring-wise in this one, the Rays did come out hot again. Well, at least Josh Lowe did. He had a home run, 385 feet, a solo shot to make it 1-0. Boston does answer in the 4th and the 5th inning. Smith with a double to score O'Neill and Devers, and then Rafaela in that 5th inning with a solo shot to make it 3-1. Rosarena over the Green Monster, 400 feet out of the park. Bring the Rays back into it. Paredes with a single to score Josh Lowe. And it's a tie game. Okay? That tie game lasts all the way to the 11th inning. 3-3. And here's where I said, the Rays were kind of just given the game. Rosarena scores on an error. Paredes should have just, easy play out at first base. Boston has been awful defensively this season, and you saw it during the series. You kind of heard about it, haven't watched too many Boston games, but you watched this 4 games. Oof, it is rough. And like I said, they gave us the game, so there's an error there. Randy scores, it's 4-3. Just close it out. So in that 11th inning, Ref Snyder grounds out to the pitcher, but Hamilton scores, so that ties it in the 11th. So, you go to the 12th inning, the Rays do nothing with it, and in that 12th inning, Manuel Rodriguez is on the mound. There's a man on third, man on first. Ball is hit right to Rodriguez. Since there's a man on third, Shortstop and second base are both infields in. If the infield is in, your mindset, there's no double play to be made. They're not in position to get to that bag and start a double play. It's just not going to happen. You have to go home with it, or at least watch the guy on third, prevent him from going home, throw it to first if you have to, but third. The man on third is your first read if the infield is in. That's the whole purpose of the infield being in, is to get the out at home. So Rodriguez, like I said, the ball's hit to him. He looks for the double play. He goes to second. He sees they're not there. It's like he almost kind of turns to home but doesn't throw it. He ends up going to first, but yeah. That was that. That was that. So the Rays lost this one 5-4, like I said, in very frustrating fashion. Preventing the sweep. I'm not going to get mad at 3-1. I'm not mad about this game. It was frustrating, but I will take a 3 out of 4 in Fenway all day. Showing the box score here real quick. After that first game, Yandy Diaz does start to slow down a bit, though, for the rest of the series, honestly. But Josh Lowe stays hot. Paredes stays hot. Rosario stays hot. And, yeah, all those guys looking good. Josh Lowe getting his first 2 home runs of the season in this series. Looks great. Such a weapon to have, that lefty. That power, that athleticism. It's just a weapon. Great to have Josh Lowe back. So game 3, Taj Bradley making his second start of the season versus Hawk. And Taj, once again, a pretty good outing. 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, just 1 walk, 6 Ks, 83 pitches. That's not bad from Taj. Not bad at all in his second start of the season. Stuff looked good. It was all there. And just continue to build confidence. Get some more experience. You got to remember, this guy's still ridiculously young. And he's just going to continue to grow. That's all you can ask for. This game, we also got to see some Jonathan Aranda action. He gets the call up and, honestly, making some plays. Looking pretty good. Another lefty added to that lineup. It's bringing some more diversity. And, you know, guys are getting on base. This is a pretty crowded locker room. In terms of stars, I would say, if you're asking people, fan bases of other teams, your stars are Yandy and Arozarena. But this is a deep team. Very deep team. You look at the outfield, you look at the infield, there's not even space for like a Curtis Mead. They have to send him down. And in that outfield, like, there's so many guys. I mean, there's Josh Lowe, Arozarena, DeLuca, Siri. Rosario, thankfully, is a guy that is very versatile defensively. That's why they brought him in. Same with Palacios. But Harold Ramirez, what is his role going to be? Is he just going to be a DH with how deep the outfield is now? It's a lot of guys on this team. Just a deep lineup. Like if this was an NBA team where your bench played a bigger role, like in each game individually, we'd be set. Because that bench is dirty. So Boston gets the scoring started in this one, Wong with a sac fly. But like I said, Aranda making some moves. He ends up scoring on an error to tie the game in the 4th inning. Boston answers, Abreu with a 406-foot homer, but that big 6th inning for the Rays. And Jose Siri, got to give it to him when it does happen. Coming up big, he does go 2 for 4 in this one. And he singles to score Palacios, and then Yandy Diaz singles to score Caballero and Jose Siri. So that makes it 4-2, and the Rays are pretty much just able to close this one out. Devers does homer in the 6th inning to make it 4-3, but that bullpen, let me share. Phil Maton does give up the 1 earned run. But outside of that, Sean Armstrong, another clean inning. Fairbanks, clean. Kevin Kelly, clean. With the save, actually. Kevin Kelly getting a save there. And then looking at the guys that put up some solid numbers in this one, it was pretty a well-rounded effort. A whole lot of 1s, some 0s. Look who it is. Jose Siri, 2 for 4. Shout out to Siri, man. Getting a ton of hate. I mean, I'm not going to blame people for, criticizing him the way he has. He's had a very rough start to the season. And I've given my own bit of criticism myself, but when he shows up, you give the guy props because we know the talent is there, and that's what you do as a fan. Jarren Duran also for the Red Sox had a hell of a series. Looked good for the most part in center field, and at the plate looked really good. All right, and then on to Game 4. So this one is Zach Littell versus Criswell. Zach Littell, not his best outing, but not terrible. I mean, 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, just 3 Ks. Like I said, we've seen better from Zach. The game was still very, very much competitive, and Kevin Cash played it that way. I mean, you bring in Kevin Kelly after Zach Littell, he gives up 1, but then you bring in Clevenger, lockdown, Manuel Rodriguez, lockdown, Jason Adam, we'll get to that, and then Erasmo Ramirez closes it out. So, bullpen, I'm telling you, look what it's doing. It's getting the Rays wins. And these starters are coming out, even if they're down by 1 or 2, or if they have a lead of 1 or 2. The bullpen is keeping them in it to either allow them to just hold that lead and not give it up, or give these hitters some innings to work with to make that comeback. Looking at Criswell here, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 100 pitches in 3 2/3 innings. Woo! Woo! Final score is 7-5, so I'm not going to go over every single scoring play, but guys to look out for in this one. Jonathan Aranda, like I said, we saw some good flashes from him. 2 for 4, has 2 runs. Isaac Paredes staying hot, 2 for 5. Josh Lowe, despite the 3 strikeouts, he did have a home run. But yeah, pretty good there. Duran, like I said, tonight 3 for 5 with a home run. Devers had a home run, filled up the stat sheet, a walk. But let's go over that 9th inning. So it goes into the 9th inning, score 5-5. Paredes ends up singling to score Randy Arozarena, and then Palacios with a deep sac fly to center field, and Aranda scores pretty easily there. So 7-5 going into the bottom of the 9th inning. Jason Adam coming out, looking solid, gets an out, gets another out. I believe he did walk somebody, if I'm not mistaken, yes. But then Kyle Snyder comes out onto the mound. He doesn't make it to the mound. Comes out for a mound visit. Gets stopped because the Rays are out of mound visits. I'm guessing he just didn't realize. So he's like, okay, it's fine. Doesn't cause a big thing. Goes back to the dugout. But Alex Cora, he causes a really big thing. And he's screaming at the umpires, arguing with them back and forth. And there is a long discussion, silence, what's happening. I didn't know the rules myself. But it was required for the Rays to make a pitching change. Went out to the mound when there were no mound visits left. I'm sure they would have loved to just keep Jason Adam in there, but it is the rule. They had to take Jason Adam out and bring in someone from the bullpen. They went with Erasmo Ramirez. He had to get warmed up real quickly. Thankfully, a grounder just goes to him in that 9th inning, and he's able to get that final out. And that's that. Can leave it there. Rays win 7-3. And like I said at the start of the video, take the lead over the Red Sox in the standings, which I will show to you right now. So there you go. The Rays in 3rd. They have a positive record. Not where we want to be, obviously, 23-22. But given how rough that, the start of the season has been, and you got to think about how bad the bullpen was playing. Stars not showing up. Yandy was cold. Randy was the coldest of cold. Guys were injured all over the place, all through the lineup. And now you're seeing what's happening. The bullpen We knew this was not a bad bullpen. They were playing bad, but we knew they were not bad. And then the injuries. You're seeing guys come back. DeLuca, Josh Lowe, and we're seeing results from it. So hopefully the Rays can keep this up. Another big divisional series coming up this weekend, 3-game series in Toronto against the Blue Jays, who are currently in last place at 19-23 on the season. So hopefully the guys can keep it up and continue to inch closer towards the top of the division, which will be tough because the Yankees are extremely hot. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Obviously, we just saw them last weekend. Orioles doing their thing. They're 7-3 in their last 10, 27-14. It's a ridiculous division. We already knew that. We've known that for years, but we've gotten used to it. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments on the series down below. Please like and subscribe, and go Rays. Y'all have a blessed one.